Plates ready? This is Food School, Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Want to feel amazing, love the way you look in the mirror, and perform your absolute best in the gym, at work, and in life? You're definitely in the right place. Food, it's you. It builds every single cell of you. And if there is one thing every human being must master, it's food. Because at the very least, eating, you do it every day, several times a day, every single day. You might as well get good at it. I'm your host, Shurina from Create Yourself That Today, your personal nutritionist and plate watcher, your diet guide and explorer, your fat loss coach and food inspector. And just someone with a lot of passion and obsession and curiosity for healthy food, healthy diets, nutrition, optimized human performance, everything and absolutely anything you put in your grocery shopping cart, your fridge, on your plate, and in your mouth. It's my business. Food School, on a mission to help you eat better daily.
It's the last time I talk about food. It's the last time I talk about food.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Food School Smarter, Stronger, Leaner podcast. Today is Wednesday, and it's our book day. And as I promised you, today we will talk about intermittent fasting. And the book, that is not actually a published book, it is available online, and you'll be able to look at this book and download this book if you want to, following the link that I'm going to post in the show notes. This book is on intermittent fasting experiments by John Berardi. He is a PhD in nutrition. He founded the company where I took my last nutrition coaching course, Precision Nutrition. So he is co-founder of that company that is proven to be one of the best systems for people to learn how to help other people to reach their nutrition goals, to reach their health and life goals through improving their nutrition. So he wrote this book a long time ago, and this book on intermittent fasting is all about his personal experiments based on the science and other experiments of people that was available then and is available right now. And it's still the best study or personal experiment with the most amount of accurate data that you'll be able to find in any book. It's one thing to read about intermittent fasting in some book written by a PhD or a scientist who practices intermittent fasting sometimes from time to time, but didn't really do a lot of experiments on himself, and not so many experiments when it comes to exercise and training and improving body composition beyond what's considered, to be normal or average. So John Berardi, his goal at that time when he was doing this intermittent fasting experiment was getting leaner to start competing on track as a track athlete. So he was, and he still is, maintains good lean body physiques. He doesn't have any health problems. I believe he's in his late 40s, if I'm not mistaken. Need to look that up. But for this particular experiment that he took for 6 months to experiment with different kinds of intermittent fasting protocols, his goal was to lose body weight from 190 to 175, 170, comfortable for him weight to compete as a track athlete. And also, of course, his goals were to maintain his health, to maintain his hormonal health, and also to retain his lean body mass and to get shredded. So let's dig into more details on a few particular fasting protocols that he used and describes in more detail with sample meals and workouts and all that stuff that you'll be able to find online. So let's dig in a couple of his experiments and just talk about the conclusions and the results. And the reason why I want to study this book also in a little bit more detail is because I noticed almost exact same patterns with people I work with. So, 1 day fast. That's where John Berardi started. Intermittent fasting, the nature of intermittent fasting is not necessarily daily fast of 16 hours, 18 hours, or 14 hours, or whatever it is you choose it to be. But intermittent fasting is fasting done intermittently. It can be alternate day fasting. It can be once a week fasting. It can be even, once in 2 weeks fasting. But it usually, when we say intermittent fasting, we usually mean something more frequent and not as long as, let's say, several day fasting or a couple of days fasting that we do maybe once a quarter, maybe once a year. So John Berardi started his fasting experiment with 1 day fast. So basically, he decided he's gonna fast on Sunday, full day, 0 calories. But I also want to tell you in advance that he was not eating whatever on other days. He was actually on higher protein, low carb diet, and he also experimented during these intermittent fasting experiments with different calories on different days and different amount of carbohydrates. So on some days he would do high carbohydrate, higher calorie day. And for example, for 1 day a week fast, what he did, again, he was on a high protein, mostly whole foods, unprocessed foods, high protein, low carb day. And of course, fats were somewhere in the middle range, not like high fat like keto, but not low fat either. So for 1 day fasting, he would not eat on Sundays. Other days, he would eat every 4 hours. He would have 4 meals a day, and the calories per day were somewhere around 2,500 calories. On Saturday, the day before fast, he would eat basically in reasonable amounts, whatever he wanted, and he would end up most days eating somewhere around 5,000 calories. So on Saturday it will be his high calorie, high carb day. And then on Sunday he will fast. And then on Monday he will eat again somewhere around 2,500 calories, and that he will continue till Friday. And on Saturday it's going to be again high calorie, 5,000 calories, high carb day. But mostly again it was a lot of protein, a lot of unprocessed foods, but also he allowed himself to eat cookies, a few cookies here and there, maybe not a gallon, but it seems like a whole a whole bunch of ice cream. And then on Sunday again 0 calories. And he would train strength training 3 times a week, and that's going to continue for all the fasts. So strength training 3 days a week, 2 days a week, high intensity interval training, 10-15 minutes sprints, and then 2 days no training. So 1 day a week. And his results were, in 8 weeks, he lost 12 pounds. So 12 pounds, 1 day fasting and eating reasonably healthy throughout the week, with 1 day when he allowed himself to eat basically whatever he wanted, 5,000 calories. So 190 pounds to 178 pounds in, no, it's actually 8 weeks. Yeah, so that was 8 weeks, 12 pounds, 1 day fasting. So he was kind of happy with the results, and he wanted to experiment with something else to get more progress, because at that point the weight seems to stabilize. So then he decided to do 2 days fasting. 2 days, meaning 2 days, Wednesday and Sunday, that was for him 0 calories. On other days, he would go for 2,500 calories, and then 1 day again is going to be a high carb, high calorie day. And he lost actually 7 pounds in the next 4 weeks. So 7 pounds in the next 4 weeks on 2 day fasting. Training remained the same, but also he considered it a failure because he felt really crappy energy-wise. He lost quite a bit of muscle, so half of that weight was muscle weight or water weight. He was not exactly sure because lean body mass means water and muscles. So he lost quite a bit of lean body mass. His energy levels were not high, and also his mood was not great at all. He was cranky on most days, and another thing that he noticed that he really didn't like is when he had those high calorie, high carb days, he also very often ended up basically binging on a lot of foods, making himself sick just because his hunger for food, for energy, for high density, high energy foods were so high, and a lot of times he wound up eating just pure fat. So that was not such a great thing, and he realized that his hormones were getting out of normal range and he didn't feel good. He just didn't feel balanced, and his performance in the gym also started suffering. So 2 days of fasting, he lost weight, but it wasn't sustainable and he didn't feel good. He didn't like the results, so he stopped that after 4 weeks, losing 7 pounds. So after that, he decided to experiment with traditional, more or less, because it's used by many people, especially many active people trying to maintain lean body mass and good quality muscle amount, good quality and good amount of muscle. So 16-8, meaning 16 hours a day he would fast. For 8 hours a day he would eat, and it was 2-3 meals a day, and it was somewhere around 2200 calories for 4 days, and then actually 5 days. Sorry guys, a lot of data. And then 3,200 calories for 2 days and higher carb days. So he would have kind of like lower carb days, 5 days a week, 2,200, and then 2 days spread it through the week, 3,200 calories. And then he would not have any 0-calorie days. His training would remain the same, and he would fast for 16 hours, and then he would eat for 8 hours, 3 meals a day. Again, it was mostly high protein, low carb diet with more calories on 2 days and a little bit more carbs. So during 4 weeks of that protocol, he actually gained 4 pounds, but as he looked at his body composition analysis, it was lean body mass. So he put on some muscle, he get back probably some of that water that he lost during 2 days a week fasting protocol. So he kind of liked the way he felt and the gains and strengths and everything, but because he wanted to compete on a track, he didn't want to go any further. He didn't want to gain more muscles, and he wanted to stay kind of, somewhere around 173 pounds. So he decided to change something again, and he started to do the same 16-8 fasting protocol plus 1 day of complete fasting. And he would also change his calories. So for 2 days he would have 3,200 calories. For 4 days he would have 2,200 calories, and then 1 day 0 calories. And on that he lost 4 pounds, back his 4 pounds from 175 to 171 in 1 month. And that's where he decided to kind of stay. So these 3 or 4 experiments, intermittent fasting experiments, the things that you can also try, obviously I wouldn't recommend to try 2 days a week, because I also notice in my own personal and professional experience, if you fast too much, you're just not going to feel well, you're going to binge on all sorts of things, because your hunger will be out of control, your hormones will be out of control, and you will not be able to maintain your normal eating routine. So I would probably recommend to you to start with 1 day fast and having 1 high calorie day, 1 high carb day when you allow yourself to eat foods that you were missing right before that fast. That's what I also used to do a lot. So that can be a really good start to fasting that can help you with your health, with your digestive health, that can help you to improve your eating habits and also to lose weight. So one day a week, by the way, I've started a group on Facebook, 24-hour group for people who don't necessarily want to start whole day fasting, but want to start with fasting even easier with 24-hour fast, dinner to dinner, meaning you have your dinner on Saturday and you don't eat anything till dinner on Sunday. And that can be done really smart. So on Saturday, for example, you have your high calorie day, and then the whole Sunday, basically, you don't eat and eat some small dinner at the end of the day on Sunday. And after that, you are returned to your normal eating routine with eating healthy, but not necessarily fasting. 12-hour fast, is a healthy window for anyone to do every day. It's not even considered to be intermittent fasting. It's normal eating 12 hours a day. You shouldn't be eating no matter what kind of fasting or no fasting you do. So, and then eating healthy. And if you need more help with that, also join the group, and I'll tell you a little bit more about, how you can plan your meals, healthy meals throughout the week, before the fast and right after the fast, and to reach your particular body and training and weight goals. So one day a week fasting can be a great way to start your intermittent fasting practice. And then 16-8, it really worked well when I was also trying to build up some lean body mass and preserving my low body fat percentage. And then now I'm probably going to be getting back to 16-8 plus 1 day of full fasting to get to a lower weight, to prepare for spring and summer fitness bikini competition season. So that's what I'm going to be doing for the next, several months. Daily fast of 16-8, and then 1 day 0 calories. It's going to be Sunday. And again, I have a group on Facebook, and the link to this Facebook group you can also find in the show notes as the link to this book on intermittent fasting, where you can also find more details about his particular training, his sample meals, the macronutrients breakdown. So a lot of interesting stuff, and it's not even that big. You'll read it in a couple of hours with no problems. But this is probably the best book, practical book on intermittent fasting. It really will help you, whether you're a beginner or someone with more experience, but trying to get really those, fine details to fine-tune your intermittent fasting to reach your specific goal. Like Don Berardi had the specific goal. He wanted to get lighter. He wanted to stay lean. He wanted to stay strong. He wanted to get leaner to compete on a track as an athlete. He wanted to preserve his health, his hormonal health, his energy levels that he needed for his family. He has 2 kids, and for his life, for his business that was booming. And for all of that, he wanted to live life, and he wanted to get his results, his weight loss and his training results. So amazing book. Check out the show notes and join our Facebook group, where we're gonna fast all together every Sunday. And you can do either 24-hour fast, dinner to dinner, or as I will do, you can do the full day fast from Saturday dinner to Monday afternoon. For me, that's going to be because I'm going to be fasting from probably somewhere around noon till 8 p.m. or 11 a.m. till 7 p.m. So 16-8, that's going to be daily fasting, and plus 1 day a week full fast. So guys, how did you find this episode? What did you learn? Write down, your most important lessons from this episode, and make sure to use them to reach your goals, your body composition, your health, your gut health goals, your performance goals. Do it in a smart way. Ask questions. Join our Facebook group. Start getting results. And as usual, till next time, eat better daily.